Please take a deep breath before you continue. Slowly breathe in and gently let it out. This message found you for a reason. You didn't click on this randomly. You didn't pause here by mistake. Something quiet but persistent inside you was guiding you here. Maybe you've been thinking about one specific person more than usual. Maybe their energy keeps brushing against your thoughts when you least expect it. Or maybe you've been feeling a strange mix of sadness, confusion, and hope, emotions you can't fully explain. This message is not here to rush you. It's not here to scare you. It's not here to force you into believing something you're not ready to hear. It's here to speak to the part of you that has been waiting for clarity. Yes, your person was involved with someone else. That truth cannot be softened. It cannot be avoided. But what you're about to understand goes deeper than betrayal, distance, or silence. There is a message coming from their heart now, one they were too afraid to admit before. And what they want you to know may truly shock you. Part 1. The truth you always felt. Let's begin with what your intuition has been whispering to you for a long time. You always felt that something was off, even when they smiled, even when they said they were fine, even when they tried to convince you and themselves that their choices were final. You felt it in the pauses between messages. You felt it in conversations that ended too quickly. You felt it when emotional walls appeared without explanation. This was not coincidence. Your person didn't walk away because they stopped caring. They walked away because they were running from feelings they didn't know how to handle. When they became involved with someone else, it wasn't because that person replaced you. It was because your person believed choosing another path would silence the emotions they felt for you. But here is the truth they are only now beginning to face. You were never replaced. You were postponed. And even that postponement came at a cost they are still paying. Part 2. Why they chose someone else. This part may hurt, but it matters for your healing. Your person chose someone else not from love, but from fear. Fear of intensity, fear of emotional depth, fear of being fully seen, fear of losing control. What they felt with you wasn't simple, it wasn't casual, it wasn't safe. With you, they felt exposed, vulnerable, real. And instead of leaning into that depth, they ran towards something easier. The third-party connection felt comfortable, predictable, emotionally limited. It required less courage, less honesty, less growth. But here's what they never expected. No matter how much they invested elsewhere, your presence followed them. They compared laughs, they compared conversations, they compared emotional reactions, they even compared silence, and every comparison led back to you. That's when they realized something painful. Far too late. The connection they had with you could not be recreated. Part 3. The guilt they carry. Your person does not sleep as peacefully as you might think. There are quiet moments, especially late at night, when their thoughts grow heavy. That's when guilt rises. Guilt for leaving without explaining. Guilt for choosing comfort over truth. Guilt for hurting someone who only offered honesty. They replay old conversations in their mind. They remember things you said that only now make sense. They remember moments where one brave choice could have changed everything, and the hardest truth of all, they know you didn't deserve the confusion they caused. This guilt isn't loud. It doesn't show on the surface. It hides behind distractions, forced smiles, busy days, but it never leaves. They are learning that running from feelings doesn't erase them, it magnifies them. Part 4. Why they stayed silent. You may wonder, if they felt all of this, why didn't they speak sooner? It wasn't because they didn't care, it was because they didn't trust themselves. They were afraid that if they opened their mouth, everything they had been holding back would spill out. They were afraid of making promises they weren't strong enough to keep. They were also afraid of your reaction, not because you are harsh, but because you are perceptive. You see beyond words. You feel truth without it being spoken. They knew that once they spoke honestly, there would be no turning back. So they chose silence. But silence always has consequences. Part 5. The moment everything shifted. Something changed for them recently. It didn't have to be dramatic. It didn't need a fight or a clear ending, but internally, it was powerful. They realized the connection they chose out of fear wasn't fulfilling them. They felt unseen, unheard, emotionally alone, even while being physically present. And in that emptiness, your energy returned, not as nostalgia, not as fantasy, but as realization. They finally understood. What they felt with you wasn't chaos, it was truth, and truth doesn't disappear just because it's ignored. And Part 6, the message from their heart. If they could speak without fear, without pride, without excuses, this is what they would say. I tried to convince myself that choosing someone else would make life easier. I was wrong. I didn't realize that walking away from you would feel like walking away from myself. I know I hurt you. I know my silence confused you. Please know this. None of it was because you weren't enough. It was because I was afraid of how much you mattered. These words may not have reached you yet, but they live inside them, and they're growing louder. Part 7. Why this message comes now. Timing matters. This message is reaching you now because you have changed. You're no longer waiting the same way. You're no longer questioning your worth. You're no longer chasing answers. Your growth shifted the energy, and when one person steps into their power, the other is forced to face what they lost. They feel it. They sense that you're no longer available to confusion. They sense that you're choosing yourself, and they fear that if they don't speak now, the door may close forever. Part 8, the shocking realization. Here is what may truly shock you. They're not just regretting their choice, they're questioning who they became when they made it. They realize the version of themselves who walked away from you wasn't aligned with who they want to be. That realization is uncomfortable, but growth always is. Losing you changed them. Part 9. What this means for you. This message is not asking you to wait. It's not asking you to forgive quickly. It's not asking you to reopen wounds. It's offering clarity. You were never left because you lacked value. You were stepped away from because you reflected a depth they weren't ready to face, whether this connection returns or not. You move forward stronger, wiser, more self-aware. And that is powerful. Take one last deep breath. If this message touched you, it's because some part of your story lives here. Maybe you felt seen for the first time. Maybe you finally understood what your heart already knew. Or maybe the person you thought forgot you never truly did. You don't need to explain everything, but if even one line felt like it was written for you, leave a comment. Write, "I felt this," or "This is my story," or simply drop a "if your heart reacted before your mind did."